Hello everybody, in today's episode we are going to be venturing down the Lord's Path, otherwise known as level 1-2 in our easy Demon Souls walkthrough. So let's just jump right in and get started. Hello everyone, my name is Tired Gamer Dad, and in today's episode, as I mentioned, we are going to be venturing off into the Lord's Path. This is the second area in World 1 main Boletaria of Demon Souls. Now, if you've been following around with my GG build, that if you haven't, I will post a link to the starting video of the series so you can get the Ancient King armor set and a crap ton of souls to get you started with your Demon Souls adventure and give you a really big head start. But we are going to jump and head over to the Lord's Path. This is 1-2, and this is actually going to be a very easy, quick, and straightforward level. There's really not a whole lot of variation to this at all, and it also includes a pretty easy boss fight for what we've got going on so far. Now, the only ring item I would have aside from Mark Kling ring, of course, is the Providential ring, and the main reason why I do that is a lot of these soldiers, the human soldiers in this level, tend to drop healing items, and it's one of the few areas where they are quite plentiful, and you can really stock up on a lot of very decent healing items and grasses for the remainder of your adventure, and some other zones that don't really have that kind of drops. So that's really helpful. We start off, of course, clearing out these hoplites and collecting whatever they drop. They usually drop hard or sharpstone shards, which again, nothing really needed for our build per se, if you're sticking with the easy build that I had done in my first video. But they can be used to upgrade different kinds of swords and bludgeoning style weapons and set them up for different kinds of weapon upgrades that scale with different stats. But for our build, we're not really too keen on it, but it is good to have anyway. So this is just this whole cave area with hoplites, those creatures that you fought and made up the Phalanx boss. But we come outside, and this is going to be where the main gimmick, I guess, for the level will be, because this big boy dragon is going to breathe all kinds of fire down on these long stretches of walkway, very similar to what you encountered in 1-1. So you wait for the dragon to pass by, you run straight across, and you don't get burned on his follow-up right there. There are a few items that you can pick up along the way. It's strongly encouraged you only pick up one item at a time, because if you try to stop for two or more before in between runs, you're going to get flamed and you will probably die. So most of those are just healing items. Aside from just the basic Crescent Moon Grass, there's really not a lot of very high value items to grab. The only reason I lured that dragon out for the second rampart is because he clears out all the soldiers along the way, and that gets you even more souls, which is very, very important. Along this whole level, just like with our many other strategies, if you're not comfortable with being up close with melee, you could always just use your magic and cheese them with soul arrows, and that should pretty much one-shot them anyway. My sword, the Crescent Falchion that we picked up from 4-1, is one-shotting these guys, so really they're fairly weak. I come up the tower here because the Unknown Hero Soul is a soul consumable item, which is probably the most important type of item you can get to make sure that you are as high leveled as you can be in between levels. So we move along, and instead of going across the runway, which you totally can do, I venture downward. That hallway to the left-hand side would take us to where Ostrava would be if we didn't maliciously assassinate him in World 1-1, and he would be requiring your help again. Basically, his whole storyline will culminate with him giving you the Mausoleum Key, but we wanted it early, so we had to kill him. Sorry, Ostrava. There's just a bunch of little dreglings that kind of lurk and hide around in these areas. You'll find a couple of crossbowmen, and you'll also find these pack of dogs that will really kind of ruin your day if you let them gang up on you, so you want to try to assassinate them as fast as you can. Again, you can always back up and use magic. One strong attack is enough to kill them pretty much where we're at if you followed the walkthrough to this point. So they shouldn't be too much of a problem at all. And then if you continue all the way down to the very, very end of this hallway, you'll come up to a couple more consumable item pickups, and also a merchant, the same merchant that was in 1-1. And he sells mostly the same kind of material. And I will show you, we'll just fast forward a little bit. Oh, not even, we don't even need to do it. He's right here. He just talks and items and stuff. You could pick up fire bombs if you're feeling really frisky, but and then if you want to buy some souls for some restoration items, you can get them here at a slightly big markup from what you would get them in the Nexus. But he does have Late Moon Grass, which is a very great recovery item, especially now we have so much health already. But aside from that, you just kind of backtrack, and this will take you up to the 3rd watchtower along the way in the level. So you bypass that second run that you would have made otherwise. And just like the first one that you saw earlier, you can just kind of sprint up to the top, kill some of the archers, grab the... I tried to do 2 in 1 there, and I completely flubbed it. Grab the compound short bow and heavy arrows, because in 4.2, and in a future video, there is a great spot for sniping a particular enemy that is a great farming location for souls if you want to level up. Last point here, there's just a bunch of crossbowmen. Just have your shield up, you'll block all the damage, and you can just R2 your way to victory here. One-shots everybody. These crossbowmen unfortunately drop bolts. They sometimes drop grass items, so kind of a bummer that they didn't give me what I wanted here, but that's okay, it's not a big deal. I did grab some Crescent Moon Grass there. I forgot what item this was. It was an Unknown Warrior Soul, which is a consumable, which we want, and I almost got burned there. That would have been really bad, so I'm very fortunate that that didn't catch me. So we come through the fog gate here, one last rampart to go through. This dude is going to be in a safe zone, so he won't be affected by the fire. You got to kill him yourself, and that's not a problem either, really, at this point. It's pretty cruise control for this whole level, really. Dragon does the work for you. You don't need to worry about anything. You just full sprint. We have tons of endurance, so the sprinting shouldn't be a problem at all. If you want to try to press your luck and grab items, you're welcome to try and do so. It's, again, the items you get aren't really super duper worth getting murdered by the dragon. You can see I kind of got a little showboaty there, and parry god that I am. Really, I just got lucky on the parry. That's all that was. I tried to showboat a bit. But I will show you how to defeat Blue-Eyed Knights like that one. Just the old cheesy way. You would have him like swing. You could try to, you see 3-hit combo catches you. It didn't even do that much damage really with the Ancient King's armor set. R2 your way to victory there. Or you can always just, you know, hit him with magic. Boom, he's dead. He doesn't have any ranged attacks. Late Moon Grass, great item again. And then I cure up. Now that fog gate will take you to the boss, which is Big Boy Tower Knight. We are going to just take a little detour to take out a Crystal Lizard and pick up some upgrade rocks and stones and shards. And then a little bit further up, there's a few enemies that you can clear out for a little bit of an extra soul kick, as well as a couple of items you can pick up along the way, which goes a long way to helping you out in the short term. Unknown Hero Soul, of course, another soul consumable item. There's quite a few of those in this level, to be honest. And here we have a couple more of the last couple of crossbowmen that were taking more long-range shots at you. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes to return to human form, and a Renowned Warrior Soul, which is a better version of the soul consumable items we've received so far in this level. So we're going to head down the stairs, and we are going to go 1-on-1, well, technically it's 1-on-8, I'll show you in a minute, with the Tower Knight. The Tower Knight boss fight seems very intimidating, but there's really not a lot to him. I am going to equip a Regenerator's Ring, and there's a little bit of a reason for that, and I'll explain in just a moment. But just back to the Tower Knight, he seems to be a very imposing, intimidating boss. He uses his shield to do most of his attacks, so the way to deal with him is to run away from him. And the reason for that, you might have just saw one. There are several ranged baddies lining the level that will take pot shots at you throughout the entirety of the fight. Once you get up to the ramparts and the mezzanine here, the knight's only attack is going to be a very large soul arrow, and it does quite a bit of damage. So getting hit with it does in fact suck, especially since the ancient armor set is not very strong against magic type damage. It's kind of our weakness. So we want to try to avoid getting hit at all times. So to do that, simply keep moving. As long as you're moving, the soul ray travels in a directly straight line. It doesn't home in or anything. So as long as you're constantly moving, you should be in a good spot. I do believe I do take a soul arrow damage, take a unnecessary damage there, right there. It didn't do that much damage, but I had my shield up. It would have done twice the damage had I not had my shield up in the first place. So it's very much worth it to just keep moving and not, you know, fall for any damage. There also, a side note from this boss fight, there is an achievement if you can defeat the Tower Knight without taking on any of the archers or killing any of the other archers. But this is the easy walkthrough, so we want to just do this as easily as possible. Also, fun fact, I'm pretty sure I forgot an archer, which is a shame. But once you get down and dirty in the front, right in front of the Tower Knight, he uses that shield as a AoE style attack. He will do a hop backwards from time to time, and when he does that, it does, it's a hitbox, so it does deal damage if you get snacked by it. I think I get hit by it there too. Yep, right there. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Now, I'm taking all of this little itty-bitty chip damage, and the shield AoE actually rocked me pretty hard, so I would normally use a healing item here, but I have the Regenerator's Ring equipped, so that chip damage doesn't really do that much damage, and I'm just slowly regenerating health through this. Once you have chipped away at his heals, he falls over like he did just there, and I almost killed him in just one go. Like, usually it takes two more often than not, but for this particular case, it was just a straight up one-shot go. Now, I believe in this particular section of the playthrough, I tried to use magic attacks, and I wanted to show you this because the soul rays do get launched by him very quickly, and his shield blocks the damage like constantly. So even if it looks like I have an easy shot, like right there, I should have hit him dead on. It doesn't really work out too well. So this is kind of a boss fight where it's much better to be on the ground with him, and I know that might intimidate some folks, but honestly, it's really not that bad. As long as you get behind his heals there, and even then, his heals, when you hit them, they do take little bits of damage, so I don't even really need to try to knock him down again. I just keep whacking away at his heals, and he's dead. Easy as that. So that is essentially 1-2. Pretty simple, right? After this point, you see this little fog gate here when I claim his soul, which is the Iron Demon Soul, which we're going to keep because it is a very important item that gets us a very strong spell when we save Sage Frake in our next video. Stinger. Yeah. So if you did like this video, and I hope you're enjoying the series so far, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Also, when you head back to the Nexus, one last upkeep thing, don't forget to store all of your weapons that you don't need, cash in and repair all your equipment, and then cash out all of your soul consumable items to level up to the best of your ability. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Again, if you did, like and subscribe, and to be notified when our next video posts, which will be the Prison of Hope. And until then, I hope to see you then. Take care.